So Neon Genesis Evangelion is a well-beloved show, albeit Eva is weird. Before you hear any complaints about how I need to watch the end of Evangelion and then watch the Rebuild series, I watched it all, and I still didn't really see the appeal. I can agree that there are some well-written parts that I enjoyed, but there's a lot of things that I feel can and should be criticized. This isn't a flawless thing, and I will talk about it. This is your spoiler warning. We are talking about spoilers. If you haven't seen it, click off the video. Or don't. I don't care. To kick things off, I will talk about some of the confusing aspects of the show, for me, personally. Now forgive me for not really wanting to watch several hour-long YouTube videos for the show, but I'm not that invested in Evangelion to put that kind of work in. There's just a lot of things that either happen off-screen or just plainly aren't explained. Like, I don't really understand Gendo's reasoning for starting the third impact and starting a human instrumentality that makes the third impact useless, and also making Shinji in charge of it. Editor's note, I do know why he does the human instrumentality and the third impact. A little bit. We learned Gendo's cloning process and how cruel and unethical it is, especially the fact that Gendo cloned his wife to be a prepubescent teenager. He has a very intimate relationship with her, and it makes Gendo, in my eyes, the most hated character. A hated character we know nothing about. His motives, his past, his life, nothing. It makes it less compelling if we, the audience, get nothing out of it, especially when it's not really addressed by anyone. These are all passive things the writers clearly don't want you to ask questions about. But my biggest question is, why are there a bunch of children piloting the EVA? They never really address it. They don't really talk about it. They don't explain it. They straight up just let children pilot these expensive war machines that literally keep humanity from the brink of extinction. I understand Gendo putting Shinji in it, kind of, but there's not really an explanation as to why the German government also has Asuka as their pilot. It doesn't make sense. A simple explanation or anything would suffice. But Obi, the kids piloting the EVA is a direct criticism on how children are seen as parents' as successors instead of their own individual human beings. Okay, why doesn't it explore it? It sounds like an amazing concept for a show to explore, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't address it. It doesn't experiment with it. Nothing. Nada. It would be something that it lightly discusses, but it's not a theme. It's not even a motif. It mostly makes a shitty point that shitty parental figure doing a shitty job at taking care of children in the slightest. It makes me frustrated seeing these cool concepts that aren't really explored. Adam, Lilith, Eva's, human instrumentality, fucking clones. This is a world filled with amazing concepts and it never explores. I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't important to the plot. World building is important, and it's vast. I don't expect all my questions to be answered, but when I have question after question after question after question, and none of them get answered, I get a little frustrated. I like to think that I'm pretty loose when it comes to world building. I give so many passes to so many works, but it just starts bugging me when the show proposes that these questions as if it was ever going to answer them, and then it never does. Or it does through other means. It's a reason why I also get upset with Star Wars. To fully enjoy Star Wars, you can't just watch the main series of movies. You gotta watch several spin-offs like Obi-Wan Kenobi 2022. You'd want to watch The Clone Wars 2008 to 2019. And after that, you should also watch Star Wars Rebels 2014 to 2018. And if you need to know what's going on in the Empire Destroyed, after the Empire was destroyed, watch The Mandalorian 2018 to present. And of course, you gotta do some reading from the comics that delve into the details about Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Palpatine, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Kylo Ren, Rey Skywalker, etc. Oh, and of course, you gotta know about the Old Republic, because Star Wars is such a long and complex series. Oh, what do you say about Star
I'm sorry. How did you find me? George Lucas? Man, no. I'm sorry, dear viewer. I apologize for what I said about Star Wars. Nothing is wrong with Star Wars. Star Wars is a perfect and beautiful product. I would never say anything wrong about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love everything about Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker is my favorite movie. I've never seen such peak fiction. I love how they fixed the mistakes of Rian Johnson. All praise be to Star Wars and Disney for handling Star Wars so well. I love Ahsoka Tano. The next few things are more of something that I heard through the community of Evangelion, to which I had not heard about, but I never would have assumed it to be true if the community hadn't told me. The first thing is Shinji's Eva bearing the soul of his mother. Parental figures seem to be very important to the entirety of Evangelion. We see a broken relationship between Shinji and his neglectful father. We experience Asuka's traumatizing early childhood in which she witnesses the suicide of her mother. But why exactly is Shinji's mom his Eva? These are smaller aspects of the show but making these characters' motives clear would have helped the show by miles. Does it mean that absent parents are physically there but not emotionally or mentally there? Does it mean parents who have passed never truly leave you? Does it mean nothing? Does it mean anything? If this isn't true, ignore me. But there's also supposedly a time paradox within Evangelion, which I don't understand. This one is wild to me because it never has been really clear within the anime. There's so many works that do so many different retellings of their stories. I mean, look at Shakespeare or any of the Disney remakes. They are all just retellings of the same story with certain changes. So how was I to assume that the difference in content equates to a whole different time paradox? Now, I know it seems like I hate Evangelion. I shit on Evangelion almost every hour of the day, and it has grown on me. I wrote this script almost a full year ago, obviously with some edits, but Evangelion was fresh on my mind. I was at my lowest point in my life and I ended up watching Evangelion and I was quite frustrated with it. I had so many questions that weren't being answered until I read about these things, these theories, and watching iceberg breakdowns. It may have been frustrating, but it has given me more enjoyment of the series. If you've made it this far into the video, I don't hate Evangelion. It's been a painful journey, but it's one that I'm actually quite grateful I went on. All the references, memes, jokes, art, all these things all have been honestly amazing to experience. So, thank you, Evangelion. Thank you guys for watching another Yonoha video. I know Evangelion fans may be a little upset. I think I'm dumb and stupid, but I don't care. Thanks, you guys, for your support. Support our Patreon. Join our Discord. Engage with us. Talk to us about Evangelion. Me and Ethan are both big fans. I think Paul might be too. I haven't really talked to Paul about Evangelion, but you know, again, don't hate Evangelion. It's grown on me ever since I wrote this. So, okay, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.